Have you ever had a special occasion wreck your diet? I've had I've had more diet crashes as a result of a special meal or a special weekend away than I think any other problem. But here's the reality of it, is that if you're dieting properly, if you're counting calories, which is what I've been doing for the past 16 weeks, then you don't have to worry about those special events. In fact, you can either enjoy it and bank it, or you can plan ahead for it and still enjoy it just in the way that you want. In fact, since I've been uh, dieting, counting calories, I've had multiple special occasions. I tend to have one every week. We go out to eat with friends. That's usually a spontaneous meal at a restaurant. And I don't want to go out and dine on a salad or something like that. Now, maybe that's your thing. That's perfectly fine. But when I go out, I want to have pasta and I want to have the bread that's on the table and I want to drink Coke while I'm there. And I can do that. In fact, I haven't really adjusted the food that I'm eating as a result of this diet when I go out. I still eat the same exact thing, but what I do is I just am honest with the calories. I count everything and I make adjustments where necessary, but not in the food that I'm eating when I'm eating out. Now, when I first started calories in, calories out, when I first started this diet, yeah, I was afraid that a meal would wreck my progress. I started on May 12th, and by the end of May, I had my first big hurdle to overcome was my 25th wedding anniversary. Now, I wasn't going to let a special day like that go by without recognizing it. And the big reveal came when some friends took us out to eat at a nice restaurant. I ate everything that I wanted to eat. I had an adult beverage. I had fish and chips. I ate the bread that was on the table. We even split this huge chocolate sundae. I think it was a chocolate sundae, but it was delicious, whatever it was. And I came in at way over my calories for the day. I try to be at 1,500 calories a day, but I make adjustments where necessary so that it averages out over time, usually over a week. That day, I think I was at about 2,500 calories. But by making some adjustments, by keeping on track later in the week, earlier in the week, I was able to go out and enjoy it without any guilt and get right back on track with my dieting. And I didn't miss a beat. In fact, I even lost weight that week, which was, a thing of beauty. And it was a realization for me because in the past, I've always given up. I've always lost out because I would either struggle to stay on my diet and to be good with whatever restriction I was having, or I would decide, well, I'm going to go off the diet for the weekend and then I'll get right back on it. But neither of those worked. One was no fun, and the other one was just not a reality for me. Never was. Now, it's not that I'm not restricting things now. I do try to stay around 1,500 calories a day. I don't have to. I could bump that up to 2,000 calories a day and still lose weight. But at 1,500 calories a day, I can get enough food that it makes me happy. And if necessary, I eat a little bit more. So it is a calorie restriction diet, but really I consider it more of a calorie balancing diet because I have some days that are bigger, some days that are smaller. But in the end, I just keep score. I count everything that I eat. I count all of the calories. I make sure that I weigh my food where possible. I weigh myself every day. Yeah, I try to get a little bit of activity in, but I don't cheat myself out of something that I enjoy. If I want a Coke, I have a Coke. If I want a candy bar, I have a candy bar. But it comes with the reality that it is going to the calories are going to count. I don't lie to myself. Sometimes you're the easiest person to lie to when it comes to counting these calories. But if you're true to yourself, the numbers will pay off in the end. After 16 weeks of dieting, I can plug my numbers into ChatGPT and it tells me how many calories I'm burning a day. It averages out because, there's some days where you're more active than others. I burn about 2,500 calories a day. I eat about 1,500 calories a day. That means I lose about 2 pounds a week. And in 16 weeks of dieting, I'm down 30 pounds. So, do the math. That's right on target. So the bottom line is I don't stress over any type of special occasion. I don't stress about eating out with friends. I don't stress about anniversaries or getting together for a party. I just log it. I'm honest with the numbers. And in the end, I'm able to lose the weight that I want to lose while still enjoying the food that I want. It's like having your cake and eating it too, literally. So I'm almost halfway on my weight loss journey. Why not follow along for the rest of it? Make sure you subscribe and have a good day. Thanks for watching.